Hi, this is Margo. This is Wednesday, June 13th, 2018, and I'm going to do another global update. I know it hasn't been a week since my last update, but there's some data that I thought would get buried, so I'm going to go ahead and do this update. We're going to focus on methane, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide again, and this is the CAM's website again. This is the Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service, and it's out of the EU, and I'm just kind of focusing on this website because I've learned it pretty well from what I can tell, and it's proving to be accurate. And this is top of the world view down. This is the methane, and our latest data is from June the 10th, and this is in UTC time, so that's from Sunday. So they haven't uploaded the most recent data, but this goes into 5-day forecasts. So when we're looking down on the top of the world here's Greenland, here's Europe, here's Norway, here's England. Those are covered up with methane. Here's Russia and Siberia. Here's Alaska, here's Canada and the US and Mexico and so forth. So what we're seeing is that there are still high methane levels in the Arctic. They're still in the orange and golden colors, and this is not gone. It's going down. There's not as much. I mean, it doesn't cover the whole northern hemisphere like it did the last couple of weeks. But we had a methane spike a couple of weeks ago in the Arctic, and that it's still lingering and hanging around. And the temperatures in the Arctic are disturbing, so we're going to go over that too. The temperatures in Siberia are disturbing, and the permafrost is melting, and methane is spewing up. And so this is what Guy McPherson had predicted, and a bunch of other climate scientists. And this gold, the yellow to gold colors, here's your scale down at the bottom. These are parts per billion. This gold color is 1940 parts per billion. The orangey color is 1960 parts per billion. And then when you get into the red orange, it's 1980 parts per billion. And then the red, like the bright red, is 2000, and then as it gets darker red, it goes up on the scale. And these methane levels are not healthy, and it's heating up the atmosphere. And so anyway, we're going to run this movie and see. What you're going to see is the methane coming up in the Arctic Ocean and coming over the North Pole. And you're going to see Siberia with lots of methane. You're going to see England and Norway pretty much covered up in heavy levels of methane. But the sea ice is melting quickly in the North Pole and also in the Antarctic. Okay, so here it's going. So we'll just run it through and let you watch it. You can see here's England and Europe. That's just kind of one big red mass. Here's Norway. Then this is Russia. Over here, Siberia. And you can see the methane really coming up. Here's here it is coming up over Novaya Zemlya, and then it's coming out over the Arctic. And you can see it coming up over in Alaska. You can see China is covered up in it. The northern part of India and this area is covered up. Then you've got the US, the northeast from is covered up, and it's coming off of the east coast, and then it's coming up into Canada. So this is just from the polar view. Now let's get a closer polar view. If we go to the Arctic view, you can get a more detailed view of everything. Go back to the beginning of our forecast period from Sunday, June the 10th. Okay, you can really see, like here's the coastline from Siberia, and then here's the Arctic Ocean, and you can see it heavily coming up off the coast of Siberia. And this is Novaya Zemlya. This is the East Siberia Arctic shelf or ice shelf. And when we look at Climate Reanalyzer, what you're going to see is that there's a lot of water there where the ice has melted. In fact, let's just go over there now, and you can compare, and the temperatures are off the charts. Literally, they're off the charts, because when you see like this blue color is 0 Celsius. So there's some areas that are blue, but most of them in the Arctic are above freezing. So you've got that with the wind. And so this sea ice is going. It's going fast. And then here's Siberia, and see, it's in the red zone. So if you're looking at red zone up here, like 30 degrees Celsius, and here's my converter, my cheat sheet, that's 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is June the 13th. It's not even officially summer yet. So 86 degrees Fahrenheit in Siberia is not good. It's not good. And it's right on the coast of where the ice shelf is, and that's melting. So there's a different view. And then you can see the world view with the temperatures. It's not good. And then we've got there's drought from basically going across the United States, and there's a bunch of wildfires already started in California, going all the way up through California and going into parts of Nevada. And so you've got that. But let's look at real quick the sea ice cover, sea and snow cover. It switches. I don't like that. Well, it's not the view I wanted. I don't know. Oh, there's the Arctic. I mean Antarctic. That's melting. You can see. See, it's getting to be some blue. Okay. Now remember last time when we saw this and it was just like a little bit of blue here? Look, this sea ice is melting, and this is the East Siberia ice shelf all along here. And that's where they're worried about the methane bomb going off. And then here's Novaya Zemlya. You see that the ice is melted completely on the east side of the island, and it's melting on, I mean, this is the west side, and then it's melting on the east side. You can see that's getting not quite so white there, and it's coming in further. You can see it's melting all around Greenland, and so there's the Arctic. There's your sea ice cover. And then here are your temperature anomalies where, see, it's way too hot up here in Siberia, where it's red and brown. It's way too hot. And up in Canada, way hotter than it normally is. So, if we have time, we'll come back to that. So, let's run the movie now with the Arctic view. And then we'll look at the global view of the methane. And then I have something very interesting to show you on sulfur dioxide. I think you'll be very interested. There's another burst out of Brazil. This is why I wanted to go ahead and do this video, because I knew that information would go away within a couple of days, or it would be harder for me to find. So the main thing is, you know, these updates are just to show you where we're at with the greenhouse gases and the temperatures and the melting sea ice and stuff, and just to prepare, get yourself prepared for what's to come. I don't think we have much time left. And look at that red. See it swirling around in the Arctic? That's what I wanted you to see. My allergies are awful today, so I'm a little hoarse. Look at that. Here it comes. Wow. See, that's really heating up the air in the Arctic. Okay, so there's that. Now let's go. I already have. That's sulfur dioxide. Here's methane. And this is at surface level. And this is back from, on this view, it's from June the 9th. So let's run this movie, and you'll be able to see it worldwide. And you can shrink the map down like this. And if you want to get the whole world without interference from all these graphs and things, it's kind of tiny that way. So You can see that Australia is looking pretty good. It's not too bad with methane emissions this week, or right this second. Now I want you to look at Alaska. There's some volcanic activity up there too, or sulfur dioxide that's been constantly coming out. And I did some research, and there's a whole bunch of volcanoes that go from, I'll show you, they go all the way down through these islands here. There's like 100 different volcanoes. So with that many volcanoes, you're going to have some kind of sulfur dioxide and noxious gases coming up. That's all there is to it. And then look at it coming off the east coast of the US and North America. And then it's coming off the coast of South America. Africa doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's still like emitting quite a bit, but not as much as it had been. The Congo is looking better. And then here you've got the red cloud coming up and spreading out over the Arctic. Now that's disturbing. So I'm thinking we're going to have an ice-free Arctic maybe before the end of September. I just don't think we have much time left. Okay. Now I want to show you sulfur dioxide, and this is quite interesting. Here's Hawaii, and this goes back to June the 9th. This is actual data until today's the 13th, which this is UTC time, so it'd be the 14th, where it would go into the forecast period, 14th and 15th. So what we're going to be looking at is Hawaii, because the volcanoes are still going off there. Guatemala is here. This is that area in Mexico that I showed you last time, that there's a volcano that I think is just seeping stuff. Here's Alaska. It's got stuff going on. Chile has things going on. See, let's just bring back. We've got islands here, the Solomon Islands. There's stuff going on over there. But on June the 11th, you're going to see an interesting burst of red coming right here out of South America. So this is why I'm doing this update today, because I don't want this picture to go away. I want you to see it. So we're going to run the movie. We're loading it up. Starting from June 9th, here it goes. Now watch right here where the hand is. Right there. Get ready. Boom! See? Wasn't that something? How that just burst up? I have no idea what that was. And I was telling Guy about it in the interview, and he was like, I don't know. Because I've seen this before, and it was in one of my videos a couple of weeks ago where there was a big red thing that came up in Brazil, and also in Siberia at the same time. And now it's into the forecast period, so it's just kind of like streaming around. So let's go back to the beginning of this and watch it again. And let's look at the whole ring of fire as this happens. Boom, there it is. So we've got a lot of activity going on, and there's magma flowing through these channels, through these caverns underneath the surface, and it's like the earth is just springing leaks. It's just springing leaks. So, and look at how this sulfur dioxide is being caught up by the jet stream and now swirling around up here. And see, here's whatever is happening in Alaska. And then this is Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking there's so much sulfur dioxide here because of the oil production. Also, a lot of it is given off when dirty coal is burned, and that's burned a lot in not as developed countries, and it's burned a lot in India and in China. So but let's go back to the explosion. There it is. I just find this so fascinating that, you know, what's in that one area that boom would automatically just go up like that in the middle of South America. I think that's Brazil. Anyway, and see, you've got stuff coming down from the islands there, Solomon Islands. So I find that interesting. So let's go. Now everybody wants to see carbon dioxide, I'm sure. Now they changed something. Remember how it used to look orangey like this? The world used to look like that. Now when we go to the plots view, it doesn't look like that anymore. See? This looks more like methane. This is total column. This is parts per million carbon dioxide. And right off the bat, we've got the United States has a huge band of carbon dioxide just covering it up. I don't know what that's from, whether it's partly from the wildfires in California, but I'm thinking some of it is carbon dioxide from the Hawaii volcanoes, and it's drifted over the ocean and is, you know, passing over the United States. But the bright red is 411 parts per million, like that color there. And then it keeps, as it gets darker red, it goes higher. So $415 Like that's 415 parts per million, and then I think it's like 500 or 600. So, but look how red it is all in the Arctic. So let's run this movie. And this is total column, meaning it's a measurement from the ground all the way up in the atmosphere. So that's kind of where we're at. Someone commented on one of my videos about the carbon dioxide being so high over the U.S., maybe from the wildfires in California, and it could be. It could be. Now see, it'll get worse as it goes forward in this period, because that's the wildfires started this week. Okay, now you can see it's starting to build here, and that's on 12th, which would be the 11th, because this is UTC time. See, it's building now, see? So now it's getting into the forecast period. Let's see what else we can see. I think we can see wildfires. Let's go. Fire radiated power. I don't know if that would be it. I'm thinking on this one we can maybe see aerosol forecast. That might be. And then you've got particulate matter forecast, fire activity analysis. Oh, I think I saw this before and I wasn't impressed because it's not updated. It's like old data. I think that's what I saw. Let's look at North America. I don't know. I mean, it's so tiny, it's so little, it's hard to say. I have not explored this map. See, it doesn't run the movie. So I think you could see particulate matter and aerosol forecasts. That would be more in line with like what's coming off of the wildfires. I don't know, it's hard to say. Fine particulate matter. Let's look at aerosol forecasts. I've not really explored these. I haven't explored it enough to even really know what I'm looking at. So we'll just go back to methane. Wow, look at that. That's total column and it's red. Look at how it's that huge area coming off the east part of the United States. That's amazing. There's, wow, look at that. That was from, okay, the 10th. Let's run this movie. It's gonna be a long, hot summer, folks. That's all I know. Guy McPherson doesn't think that things will go much longer after September. That's his latest assessment. But he was amazed that we made it through last year. So, you know, you look at all the data and try not to get too caught up in it and too hypnotized by it, because you really can. You can really get hypnotized with this stuff. And remember that we're living in a matrix simulated reality, and that we are much more than this. So there you have it. Time is short. I recommend everyone get their spiritual house in order. Whatever that means to you. Get your relationships in order. If you're carrying around any anger, hatred, let that go. If you need to heal up some relationships before you're ready to go, do that. And just be nice to each other. Be kind. Time is short. Until next time, my name is Margo. My website is margoshealingcorner.com. Until next time, go in peace. God bless. Goodbye.